Have you ever gotten a Chase or American Express card and later thought, I didn't really want that one? How do I go about product changing? Well, that's what we're gonna cover in this video. We're gonna cover all the top banks and how to product change, if they even allow it, et cetera, et cetera. All right, let's dive in. All right, so welcome to the video. Let's cover product changes for most of the major banks. There's only a couple that I really haven't covered, and I could argue that they're not major banks that we're talking about. So before we dive into that though, let's start with some basics, right? Let's assume a few things before we get started. First off, you can probably product change at most banks, and especially if they've got a long catalog or a big catalog of credit cards, or they've got credit cards that have all different kinds of reward structures to them. Because that would make sense for you to be able to product change. If the bank has like 3 cards and there's not really much of a difference between it, then why would you need to product change? If the bank has a lot more cards, or if there is a dramatic difference between them, like for example with Navy Fed, the flagship card versus the platinum card, huge differences between the two. So again, they would allow product changes. So that's the first things that we can kind of assume right out of the gate. So if we don't cover the bank that you want us to cover, or the credit union, then maybe you're good, right? I would just give them a call and ask if they actually allow product changes. It's a fairly easy thing to figure out, right? All right, so let's continue now into 3 general things to keep in mind with product changes. First off, I don't think there's a single bank on the planet that would allow you to change between a personal and a business credit product. So product change from like a personal credit card to a business credit card. No, why would they allow that? It's completely different underwriting, completely different departments. We're talking about a individual versus a business. That's probably not gonna happen anywhere. Next is product changing between a different credit product types. So if I have a credit card, can I product change into a personal loan or a personal line of credit, or any other different type of credit product? No. It means that product changes are usually defined as just changing from one of a certain credit products to another one, right? So from a credit card to a credit card. Also too, keep in mind this means that you can't change from a charge card to a credit card as well, which we'll cover that more in just a sec when we dive into American Express. But let's now cover the major banks. All right, so I've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got 12 or so. So let's start with American Express. Yes, you can product change. With most big banks, it's very easy. You either just call in or send a message, a secured message when in your login area or inside the app itself. There's many different ways to do it, and talk about the product change that will initiate it, and then they'll usually product change you with no hard pull. Some banks do hard pull for a product change. You're gonna have to just ask them, okay? And this might actually change by the time you're watching this video. We're shooting this at Q4 of 2023, so again, this is all up for interpretation because these things might change. As we covered in the beginning with the general rules is, yes, you cannot change between a charge card and a credit card. You cannot change between a personal and a business. And also you cannot change between a cashback and a membership rewards, because American Express offers both cashback credit cards and MR or membership rewards credit cards. They do not equal each other. So we cannot go from this one to this one, okay? So they are separate to credit card with cashback and membership reward to membership reward, right? And we cannot go from charge to credit card as well, right? So all of that has got to be separated out. Okay, hope that makes sense. Next, let's do Bank of America. Yes, you can do it here as well. You just need to call them or send them a secured message. Chase, yes, again, you can, same thing. You can call or send in a secured message. Fairly easy to product change. I hear people product changing all the time with Chase. And again, remember, personal, business to business. Okay, next is Citibank. Citibank is another fairly easy one. You can just call in or send a secured message to go ahead and initiate a product change. Just keep in mind, you cannot product change out of a co-branded card. So like for example, the Costco card, and this is true on a personal and business side. You cannot product change out of a co-brand card. So that's it. Other than that, fairly easy. Just give them a call, send in a message, and you can get that squared away. Wells Fargo, you can product change as much as you'd like. And again, that makes sense too, because there's a difference between like the Propel autograph cards and the other ones that they offer. So that might actually make sense, as well as with Chase and American Express. These are big libraries of credit cards. So maybe you didn't get the one you wanted, or maybe you decided that, hey, this isn't the card that I thought it was, or you're trying to avoid annual fees or something like that, right? But just keep in mind that that'll eventually all catch up to you. Trying to continue to product change every single year to avoid like an annual fee or something like that, you're not gonna game the system. It's probably very rare that people will get away with that, just because there's so many safeguards in place. But anyways, let's continue to Capital One. This is where it starts to get a little spicy, because Capital One does not openly allow you to product change. Meaning that, yes, they allow you to product change, but they have to invite you in to product change. First off, there's this upgrade link. Now, this is not like super secret, but I don't know a lot of people talking about it. We've covered it in probably like 5 or 6 Capital One videos. We'll give the link down in the description below. It is an upgrade link. So if you do qualify for an upgrade, especially if you have a subprime card, it'll take you out of the subprime card into the saver, into the, let's call it, I don't know, maybe prime cards. The only thing I don't think it covers is I don't think it covers like Venture X card and like super prime cards, all right? But that is one way to get an upgrade or product change. The second way is that they're gonna let you know some sort of way. So there's the special offers tab that you've got inside your Capital One account. This is both the computer login and the app, as well as they will send a targeted email to you and let you know that you qualify for an upgrade or you qualify for a product change, right? So that's the only 2 ways that I know of that they're gonna like actually let you know that you qualify, but they do have to reach out to you and initiate the invitation to product change. A little bit weird, but yes, it's possible. That's how you get it done there. Okay, next, Discover. Discover, I think this was early 2022, stopped allowing product changes and they don't allow reallocation. So reallocation is, let's say I've got a $15,000 balance on this card and I get approved for like $7,000. Can I grab some off of this card over here from card A and put it onto card B? So that's called reallocation. Neither one of those are allowed now with Discover. Keep in mind though, that they do have a secured credit card still, and that does graduate. So even though that upgrades and changes over, you're not allowed to product change anything on the personal side. And of course, they no longer offer a business credit with Discover either. So that's Discover. Next is PNC Bank. I'm gonna put PNC and Regions together because I don't actually have all the details on it. With PNC and Regions, I know that you can reallocate balances, and I'm like 90% sure that you can do product changes as well, because I've heard of somebody doing it with PNC. I haven't at Regions, but because you can do reallocation of balances at Regions rather, I just assume that you can do product changes as well. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, or if there's certain rules and things like that. I did do quite a bit of searching to try and find out if, what the rules were with that. So I don't know, let me know if I'm missing something on Regions or PNC, but that covers both of those. Next, let's get into, we got credit unions kind of. Let's do USAA and then we'll jump into credit unions, okay? So USAA, you cannot product change any credit cards, not even the secured. And a secured credit card that they have does not graduate. So kind of stuck. So make sure that you actually get the card that you want there. All right, next let's jump into credit unions. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be it. Okay, Navy Fed, we gotta talk about Navy Fed. So this is a little bit contested actually with how to do a product change or what this might apply to. But it would appear that on a brand new approval, it's fairly easy within that like first week to a couple weeks of getting approved that we can product change. Especially like if I immediately call up and change my mind and say, yeah, I want this other card, fairly easy to get a product change. Outside of that, from product to product, it seems like it's 3 months. Outside of the flagship card. The flagship card is the only one that I've seen to where people are adamant about it being 12 months. Now, I have not personally tried to do this, but it would make sense because the flagship card has an annual fee and the others don't. So it makes sense that they make you wait a year so that everything is processed on a 12-month period to make it easier for them on the annual fee side, because otherwise they'd have to give out refunds for that. And I know Chase does that, but it's annoying. Like, why would you put in that much, time and effort into that? So because of that fact, I think that's probably how it shakes out. Next is Alliant Credit Union. So they don't allow product changes at all. You would have to close that account and reopen a new one, which means that you would have, all the rules that apply with getting another hard pull, et cetera, et cetera. Next, a couple others is Sky One Federal Credit Union. They don't allow you to product change. Again, you would have to reapply, and hard pull, soft pull, whatever applies there. Sky One we have profiled in the members area, but I don't think we've shot a dedicated video. Maybe we will in the future. And then Green State FCU was another one that we covered at length. So you can product change. It's available at any time. However, keep in mind that, for example, the World MasterCard starts at a $10,000 balance, and the product change to this would include a hard pull via TransUnion. So banks that we didn't cover HSBC, we didn't cover KeyBank, maybe we didn't cover a bank that you want us to cover. If that is the case, let us know in the comments below, or if you've got data points that you'd like to share or feel like we missed something, let us know. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Hey, you should subscribe. 60% of you are not subscribed yet, right there. Okay, bye.